All right. Nah, guys, so I'm back, you know what I'm saying? I came up here to let y'all know a few things. First, I wanted to thank y'all for the comments and the advice y'all gave me. I really wanted to clear the air, though. It was a misconception that day. I was just frustrated with Kyro. But he's actually a great, great kid. I do appreciate y'all feedback or whatever. Kyro is far from, he is spoiled, but he's not the spoiled where it's like, oh my God, I think that I can get whatever I want. He honestly is very well mannered when it comes to that. Like if I tell him that he can't have something, he's fine. He don't think that he has to have everything. For example, he has presents under the tree, and yes, like any kid, he gets frustrated about it, but he has not touched those presents. Like he touched it one time when he first got down there, but that was also because he's 4 and this was his first time ever seeing presents under the tree this early, and that was my fault because I allowed my mom to do it. Because yeah, you want these apples? I allowed my mom to do it because she already had done it and we had got in the house when it was under the tree. So long story short, remember the day that can I get one please? Thank you. Remember the day I went to Target and I snuck the gifts inside and I left back out with him. When I left out with him, my mom wrapped the gift for me, and it was my fault because I forgot to tell her to put it in the closet. She put it under the tree. When we got back, he saw it already, so I wasn't going to take it back. But it's been a lot for him because that was his first time really seeing gifts under the tree this early. Last year, it was his first time really understanding that there's gifts. He's still learning what Christmas is. And then last year, I put him out the day before. So this year was a lot for him. So literally, he touched it once. That was because he didn't really understand. And then he haven't touched it since. He's been asking me about them every day, and I've been explaining to him like Christmas is coming, and he's been doing very well. Now, areas that I do like struggle with Kyro, communication wise, I communicate with him. I don't treat him like he's my friend at all. Y'all see me do a lot of fun things with Kyro. Honestly, he deserves it. He's a very well behaved kid. He's the only child, and he sits in the house like majority of the time. And I feel like as a parent, I owe my son that. Like my son used to be in a barbershop. If y'all been rocking me for a long time, y'all know that my son used to be in a barbershop with me for hours. Like he used to literally go to school, get out of school, come to work with me all day long, and used to really spend all day, every day, even the weekends in the barbershop. So I owe this to him to like, yo, I want to take him out. I want to do things with him on the weekends because not only do he do that, he goes from school straight back home with my mom while I work, and I come home and it's very little time to do anything with him because he got to get ready for school the next day. So I feel like as a parent, I'm going to do whatever I can do on the weekends to make sure that I'm doing stuff with him. Also, you have to know who you are as a mom. I'm not the mom that can sit on the floor and play with marbles and stuff like that. I be tired and I'm over it quick fast. But what I can do is activities. So I plan stuff to do with him because that's my interaction with him. That's my way of going places and doing stuff with him to keep me up, alert, and attentive to him. When I'm in the house, the same thing. If I plan activities to do with him that keep me up, alert, and attentive to him, and then we go our separate ways. He watches tablet, he get on his game, and I think that works for us. Now, the areas that I was really asking for advice and I wasn't clear in that video was really just in terms of like discipline, because he is 4. I don't want to do a lot of things that like culturally I know and I'm used to. So I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, spank him, or oh, you gotta teach him now. Like I want to teach him in the way that's not so intergenerational, like so much intergenerational trauma. And so like I don't want to keep recreating that cycle of like I'm gonna beat you until you understand. Because a lot of times, and honestly, this is what I know for a fact, a lot of times kids get so afraid of their parents because they think they've beaten the innocence out of them. And the only thing they do is in a place where their parents are not, they go and they be the person that they really want to be. And so like for me, I want my son to be whoever he is in front of me so that nobody can dare tell me anything about him without me saying like, not my child. And I personally go through that a lot. Like I'll tell a parent something about their kid and they won't believe me because in front of them, their kid is so scared to be themselves. But outside, when they get in front of other people, they are a completely different person and you think it's not your kid. But me, you tell me anything about mine, I'm going to let you know like, oh yeah, I know he do it at home. It starts here. Like I want him to do it here, but I want to alter the way that he do it. And I think my biggest thing is because I don't live by myself. There's 2 different ways that Kyro is receiving information about the world, and like that's my hardest struggle. I live with my mom, and of course that's his grandmother, so as a grandmother you're gonna want to spoil your grandchild, but I'm his mom and I don't want him to have that spoiled behavior. So I spoil him in the sense of like, if y'all want to call it spoiling, spending time with him, taking him places on the weekend, trying to do things with him, if y'all want to call that spoiling him. He's still at an age where he does not even want a lot. If you ask me, Kyro does not ask me for anything. Honestly, the most he asks me for is candy. Like, the places that we go, he don't ask me for. The toys that I buy, he don't ask me for. He'll randomly see something on a TV, or like if we're in a store and ask for it, but he's not a kid that's always asking for me to even spoil. So, but I spoil you in the sense of like the love, and I pay close attention to him. I give him the attention, and I do things like that. My mom spoiled him like a grandmother, and like because we live together, that's my hardest part. Like, she wants to do everything that he says do. She let him get his way. When I tell him no, she says yes. The candy, it's like a thing. Sorry guys, my dog just interrupted me. But my mom spoiled him like a grandmother, and I don't blame her. It's just that we can't live together and have that happen because he's not taking me serious as his mom. So it's like, I'm like, no candy, she gives him candy. I'm like, no sweets after a certain time, she give him the sweets. I'm like, you gonna eat first before you get this. If he start crying, she gets irritated. If I tell him anything, he runs to her. And then the same thing with the phone. Like, I really am big on not wanting Kyro to watch adult YouTube. So on his phone, he only have YouTube Kids. On his iPad, he only have YouTube Kids. When I'm not here, or lately, he's been like running to get my mom's phone, and I'm like, I don't want you to watch that, like, you know. So that's kind of like where I'm like having a hard time disciplining him, and why I'm having a hard time disciplining him, because in a sense it's not his fault. He's 4, so he's getting these 2 different structures, and he don't understand. So he's picking up things, and I'm not saying my mom is a wrong person. My mom is a grandmother. She's doing grandmother things, so she's spoiling him, but not understanding that it's hurting him and hurting me at the same time, because it's not helping him find that balance. It's also not helping him find like the values and beliefs as a mom. Like it's not helping him understand, like, I'm your mom, and like these are the rules that I'm setting, and I'm not doing it to hurt you. In his head, it's like, oh, she's so mean, like I'm mean. And of course my mom is like the nice person, he always run into her. But he's 4, and so that's why I can't blame him, and that's why I'm doing whatever I can do to, like, you know, get my own. And again, I don't think my mom is a bad person at all. This video is not to badger her at all. She's doing what a grandparent do. I really just think that at this time we can't live together, because it's going to be so confusing to him for him to understand. And a lot of y'all said something about the cursing. Kyro grew up around people who are cursing, even in school. It's the thing that people do in the world, even with YouTube especially, like, and that is something that is controversial. And I think when I think about coding, and I think about words, and I think about mankind, I think about socialization, I think about all of these things, the knowledgeable me says that I don't care about curse words, because they're just another form of expression. What I care about is respect, and the way that you use it, and the expectations that are set in certain environments, and why you should respect it. For example, I'm an adult and I'm allowed to curse, but I'm not going to walk inside of my school building, inside of my professional environment, inside of the store, around somebody's mother, around somebody's grandmother, disrespectful. I'm not going to do all of those things and use those words in that way to disrespect any environment, or to not meet the expectations of any environment. So certain curse words, like, I don't even know if YouTube allow you to say it, but them soft curse words where it's like something went wrong and it's like, oh, S-H-I-T or D-A-M-N, you know, I really don't care about those. Now, when it comes to stuff that is like disrespectful and over the top, I talk to Kyro and communicate with Kyro about those things. However, people who have been around him, adults who have been around him, sometimes they talk to him and curse because they think it's also funny. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm human, so sometimes when he curse people out that's cursing at him, my first reaction is to laugh, and I'm human. So like I laugh because I don't expect certain things to come out of his little mouth, especially when I didn't teach it to him. And so my first reaction is to laugh, but my natural reaction is to also correct him and let him know. But what's very hard for him, again, me being mindful of like, I'm not going to just badger him and yell at him and hit him when people around him are doing these things. So as an adult, I ask the people around him to like, you know, limit the cursing around him, or don't bring it out of him, because you already know that's something he's working on. So if I come up to him and I'm saying, hey, the curse word, or stop the curse word playing with me, because I know he cursed, it's gonna just make him want to do it more as a joke. And so that's another struggle. And I'm not a perfect parent, he's not a perfect kid. Like I said, I want to teach Kyro respect. I want to teach him morals. I want to teach him how to present himself in multiple environments. I don't want to teach him to not express himself. I don't want to teach him to feel uncomfortable around me. I don't want to teach him to be shy around me. I want to know what he's doing, even if it's wrong, so that I can help him get it right. Because I think a lot of times, especially older people, have a sense of belittling, degrading, and also taking away self-expression. And when I meet with kids, a lot of times they tell me things that their families don't even know, and they feel uncomfortable around their family because they feel like they can't be themselves. And they also have this weird trauma that they experience because of verbal abuse, physical abuse, and like things that people have done and said to them that make them feel less than, but also limited their self-expression. And so you may think you're raising a saint, but this saint is really outside doing a lot of things that you don't even know of. And half of the time, these same saints that y'all think y'all raising be knowing more than me as an adult, like more stuff than me, can tell me more sexual stuff, curse words and all that, more than I know as a 32-year-old person. So it's like I am torn in between societal norms, building my own norms, and trying to find balance between me living with my mom and me having a son for the first time. And so like I'm not perfect. I have certain values and beliefs that may be different from you all, and I always tell people all the time that stop badgering people or degrading people because they don't believe in the same things as you. There's no right or wrong. All of this stuff is socially constructed. So whatever you may believe is true to you may not be true to somebody else. So with that being said, guys, I thank y'all for the advice. I thank y'all for helping me out. For people who have multiple children, I thank y'all as well. For the older people who's giving words of wisdom, I thank y'all as well. I'm not taking anything for granted, but I'm taking bits and pieces and I'm making my own because I want to feel comfortable as a parent as well. And so with that said, I'm also a parent that says like all of that self-expression is cool, but you're gonna be about the books. And I feel like that's one thing about myself that I feel like I love. That's Kyro have music. So with that being said, I really believe in like being street smart, book smart, having self-expression. So I really press Kyro in terms of like being like education. Like you gonna learn how to read and write before you learn how to do any of the other stuff. Like, and you gonna make sure that when people talk, they gonna also talk about them grades being A1. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when they talk, they gonna also talk about the manners that you have. And so that's really my take on it. And I'm learning. So badger me if you want. I'm learning. I'm gonna make mistakes, and I think everybody made mistakes with their first child, and I think that it's a trial and error, but I also want to have the freedom of like trying, you know what I'm saying? So I bring that to the internet to say that I thank y'all, and I don't want y'all to keep like trying to criticize me or whatever. And my baby is a sweet baby, and he has a huge heart. YouTubers! Hello, YouTubers. Kyro, we talking about using better words, right? Yeah. We gonna use nice words, right? What kind of words we gonna use?
When you curse, you go to jail.
When you curse, you go to jail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They think that you are a bad kid. Are you a bad kid? You a sweet baby, right? You know how to count. You know your numbers. You know your letters. You go to school. Yeah, I know. You have friends, right? You love your mommy. You be nice to your mommy. Sometimes you say bad things, but you fix it, right? See, guys, my kid is not. He's a sweetie. And he like taking care of me, right? You hold the doors for me. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I love y'all.